Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a special bonus reading for the sign of Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Virgo, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one of those or in making a donation, you can find that information in my Buy Me a Coffee link, my official Instagram and TikTok, all listed in the About section of my YouTube page. And I thank you so much in advance. Virgo, I hope that you're doing well. This reading is all about the person on your mind. So if there's been somebody recently that has been preoccupying your thoughts, perhaps this will give a little bit of insight as to what's going on. I'm going to be using two decks for your reading today. The first one's going to be the overall energy from the Human Spirit Oracle, and the tarot is going to be with the Pulp Tarot. I love the Pulp Tarot. It's a really fun, kind of ridiculous deck, but get some good messages out of it. The cards have been pre-shuffled. This is for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Angels, spirits, guides, what messages do you have for Virgo? Okay, for the person on your mind, number 26, which reduces to an 8, corresponding to the Strength card of the Major Arcana, Leo energy. Strength card often talks about this time in our lives when we master our fears, our triggers, and our traumas, right? It's like mastering over the ego, our ego-centeredness. Kind of realizing that if we can step outside of ourselves momentarily to put ourselves in the shoes of another person, kind of breaks down the barriers between people. And what's so interesting about that is the card that you got, number 26, Bound for Boundaries. So obviously I saw this card before I showed it to you. I've pulled this card a few times before in readings, but there's a push and pull that's happening. The Spirit is telling me about. It's like you want to let somebody in, but you're putting up really strong boundaries at the same time. Private, no entry. Restricted, keep out. This one beside says private property, no trespassing. Violators will be prosecuted. It's interesting too, the kind of fence that's above her head is essentially a white picket fence. In the United States, the white picket fence is a trope of sorts. It's this image of an ideal life, an ideal family. Oh, I want 2.5 kids and a house with a white picket fence. It's like something to strive for. Obviously, the idea of how families look and how life looks, and the ideal of what life looks for some people is much different. But the symbolism is very strong with that white picket fence. It's like, maybe there's some part of you with this person on your mind that perhaps you thought that you were going to have a certain idealistic future with them, or maybe that's what you had, and now there's a lot of borders between you and someone else, perhaps they with you. We'll get into it though, but I feel as though there's some effort on your part to kind of break down those barriers. It's difficult though. If you were met with this, energetically speaking, it would be difficult to kind of penetrate that boundary. And to a certain extent, sometimes if people put up boundaries against us, we have to respect it, right? We may not understand it, but we have to respect it. But I have a feeling that you probably understand it intuitively. If this is someone else putting up a barrier, thank you, Spirit, against you, you understand it intuitively. It may have nothing to do with you, Spirit just said. It may have nothing to do with you. They might just be going through their own trials and involving you would make things complicated. Okay, Spirit just gave me very clear message, Virgo, that you may be the kind of person that if you see somebody in dire straits, if you see somebody in trouble, it may be your natural inclination to assist them, help them, control a scenario in their lives so that you know that it will better their lives, but maybe they're not looking for help right now. That could be difficult. Take it as it resonates. But it's a very strong image in my head, so I gotta go with, even if this is just for one person. So 3 cards for the base spread, 3 cards for clarifier. First set of cards is who they are. Thank you, Spirit. Who they are. The second set, your role in their life. And the third set of cards, the lesson of this connection. And I'll probably pull a card at the end of specific advice from Spirit. 4 cards out, 2 more came out. Okay, yeah. So yes, you've shown up very prominently in your reading. Very, very prominently. Who they are. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. So Ace of Pentacles in the upright. Aces bring new from Spirit. It's like brand new beginning. Oftentimes it's exciting. It's fresh. It's like and especially the Pentacles energy, which is your element, the earth element, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. It's a real world, and it's in your environment. It's something in the material world, an opportunity, a door opening. Could talk about new finances, like a patron, a sponsor. Spirit made me stop on the word sponsor. When do we have sponsors? Sometimes when we're in things like AA, right? Alcoholics Anonymous. I don't know where that's coming from. Just want to say it. That somebody might be going through something like that right now. They might be dealing with addiction issues. The card in reverse would suggest that the brand new opportunity has presented itself to this person and they were unable to receive it, right? So Spirit has their hand out and says, hey, friend, I really want to give this to you, this opportunity. It's so beautiful, but your person, or the person on your mind, I would say the person on your mind. The person on your mind doesn't even have to be your friend. It just could be somebody, could be coworker, somebody that is preoccupying your thoughts. It's the very first person when I started to talk, when I showed you this card, the first person you thought of, that's the person. They're just not able, they're not in a place to accept Spirit just said anything good, and they put it in air quotations. I think your person is in hard times. 5 of Wands to clarify it, right? 5 of Wands, traditionally speaking, can talk about training for battle. The fire suit is represented by the wands in the tarot. So that whole suit, if you look at it from ace to 10, page, knight, queen, king, in the wands, we're talking about these really hot, fiery, igniting, catalyst energies. And by the time we reach the 5, we're training for battle. Sometimes that battle can be internal. And I often see the 5 of Wands as an internal battle, a battle with the self. Like kind of stepping all over ourselves to try and get anywhere. It feels like self-sabotage sometimes. Talking ourselves out of it. I see a scenario where somebody drives to the place where they want, where this new opportunity may lie, and they're sitting in the parking lot. Their hands are on the steering wheel in a parked car, and they can't get out of their car. They want to go in, they want to make change in their life, but their hands, like, it's like, I see like white knuckles, like gripping the steering wheel so tight that they just can't get out of the car. They start the car up and they drive away. So if this is, they're sitting in the parking lot of somebody's house that they love, they're sitting in the parking lot of a doctor that could help them, a lawyer that could help them, a brand new job, something as simple as going to the mall and getting your hair done, or finding a new outfit, or like whatever. Some of the simplest things for some people can be the most difficult if you're not in the right headspace. Spirit just said the word executive function, the words executive function, of which Virgo has very high executive function, like the ability to prioritize things, make decisions, act on those decisions. Whoever this person is in your life, it's very difficult for them. And remember, in the beginning, I was saying, you know, when we can step outside the ego and put ourselves in the shoes of somebody else, it could be difficult for you to understand why. I mean, to you, this might just seem like fruitless. Like, dude, you have something so good. What is the issue? Why do you keep fighting yourself? Why do you keep why do you keep getting in your own way? But you don't live inside of this person's life. The inner demons that people sometimes have that you know nothing about, right? Which would cause somebody to do this, right? I mean, I'm looking at this lady and she's very pretty. You know, it's like all put together. It's like all put together on the outside. You don't know what's going on the inside. It might be starting to show on the outside, though. This person is not happy, laughing, smiling, talking. They're starting to retreat away. I mean, I think we can all understand that every once in a while. Sometimes we need a time out from life, from being social. I'm going to get a clarifier who they are. Ten of Cups to clarify these two cards. I almost see this, you know, like it's kind of a jovial card because the Ten of Cups is bliss and fulfillment, and it's almost like this is the potential. I've been in this position so many times I can't even tell you, where I can see someone else who is absolutely magnificent. I mean, just a stellar human being, just a beautiful, loving human being that sometimes they just make poor choices. And it's like I see this kid in the front with the jumping up and like, oh my God, I can't believe it. But in a certain context, that could be you just being like, why am I watching this train wreck right now? It's really frustrating for you, I think. I think you care about this person. I don't think it's just like some random. I think this person we're talking about here is somebody you really care about. You seeing the potential. And you know what? I think they also know the potential, but it could be difficult for them. I think they've experienced some kind of, thank you, Spirit, setback is the word I was going to say. They've experienced some major setback. And it can be really easy for us on the outside to be like, pick yourself back up, man. You got this. You know, rejection is protection and redirection, right? It's easy for me to say that to somebody, but like, I'm not the one experiencing that rejection. I have experienced rejection many, many times, but me saying that to somebody else, I have said it to people. You know, because I know where I come from, and I know where you come from too, Virgo. It's a loving place. It's a place where you want to help always, but at the same time, we can't live other people's lives for them. We can't make decisions on their behalf. You know, unless this is talking about a child, where you feel as though, well, you could potentially make a decision on their behalf, but maybe this is part of the maturing and the growing up process too. Take it as it resonates. Sorry, I heard something. I think it was one of my cats at the door. I don't know what that was actually. All right, we're gonna keep it moving. Your role in their life. Your role in their life. King of Pentacles in reverse. King of Pentacles in the upright, that's top dog in your suit, in the earth element. King of Pentacles is financially stable, just stable in general, abundant, really surrounded by a strong sense of community, of family, soul tribe members, in a position of authority or power, confident, but like not in a flaunting way, but more in a reserved, there's a deep knowingness to this image, to the point where, okay, Spirit just said it's like the difference between new money and old money. Like, if you ever, okay, I'm getting a very specific image, because like I'm always on Instagram, and sometimes the most random things come across my feed, but every once in a while I'll see this image or this video of like rich people in, where do rich people hang out? Like Monaco or like places like that. And I don't know if it's paparazzi or who is taking this footage, but they drive up to the front of a very luxurious hotel in what is probably the most expensive car of whatever line of car they're driving. So if it's a Lamborghini, it's the top one. If it's a Ferrari, it's the top one. It's the one they only make one of in the world, whatever. It's like a crazy amount of wealth. Then the hatch opens, because you know those cars only have, they have the doors that kind of go up like this instead of go out. The hatch opens and out is like the most unimpressive looking person, you know, and I'm not making a judgment on that, but it's like, if you think in your mind of like what somebody driving a car like that should look like, this person is not it. He's wearing flip-flops and shorts that are probably too short, and like almost a stained shirt, like just disheveled, hair not cut, a mess. They look like a mess. Like they look like somebody so just like a mess. They're the ones coming out of this car. Why? Because they don't need to, they can look whatever way they want to look. They don't have to impress anybody. Right? So that is not like a statement about anything, but that's just like what Spirit is giving me right now, because it's just like, oh, okay, right? So this is kind of what I'm seeing with the King of Pentacles. Like the vibe of the King of Pentacles is somebody that doesn't have to prove to you that they're stable and doing well. You got this card in reverse of your role in their life, and I think so. I feel as though you do feel a certain pressure to be this person for them, but to a certain extent, I think you're realizing that you can't. You cannot be this person's benefactor. You cannot be this person's mentor forever. You cannot be this person's place of stability for whatever reason, and we'll get into it. It's like, no matter how much you would want to, it's almost that feeling that we can't solve other people's problems for them. By all accounts, for yourself, you are this person. but it's your role in their life. You can't be it for that person. And it's clarified by your card in the Major Arcana, number 9, the Hermit. Virgo energy. Virgo, you showed up in your own reading. Woo! Oh my God. Sorry, I just got a scare. Sorry. Spirit. I have this feather. I don't know, maybe it's a sign or something. I have this feather that is clearly in front of me on my desk. I know that it's there. It's a crow feather that I found. It's beautiful. And it was sitting up on my desk, and all of a sudden it just kind of moved, but it's because I'm waving my, you know, but it's scared. I don't know why. Something caught me off guard. Something caught me off guard. Something's catching you off guard. I know what it is. So the Hermit, traditionally speaking, talks about somebody who, you can see here, this kind of older man, kind of in the mountains on a lone path, like a lone wolf. The Hermit card talks about this period of our lives when we, you know, perhaps on the brink of like a spiritual ascension. And I think we go through many spiritual ascensions throughout phases of our lives. Connecting with spirit, connecting with the universe, and most importantly, connecting with ourselves. Taking the time out from society to retreat away and regroup, reconnect with ourselves. What's surprising, I think, the fact that your card came out in reverse, it could be surprising to you that the role that you play in this person's life is not kind of giving them the version of you that is distant, or kind of the version of you that they would normally expect. It's like you're kind of breaking from your own tradition and almost showing an example to this person of how you can kind of overcome, I don't know, your own reservations about things. So like, let's say I have a very close friend. I don't think that he's probably watching this. He is a Virgo, a very proud Virgo. And I think a lot of people make assumptions about him and about who he is, but we read each other very energetically, very early on. Like, I feel like we read each other energetically from day one. And I could see how feeling and caring and loving he was. But like on the outside, other people that are not paying attention to him would think that he might be cold, that he might be distant, that he might not care. And just, it's two different versions, you know, that I see sometimes, right? For me personally, it makes me love him even more because he's such an amazing human being. But for other people, it might be off-putting, right? So I think that and I think that a lot of Virgos get that rap, that kind of stereotype. And I think for this person, it's like you make an exception to your own Virgo rule. And you might be a little bit more forthcoming, outgoing, extroverted, whatever that means for you, with relation to this person. It's almost like you have to, because both of you can't be in the deep and the dark and the shadow. One of you has to be in the light. So it's almost like you're taking the turn to be in the light. And while you can't kind of save this person, you can show them where the light is, so that when they decide to save themselves, they know which direction to walk in. And They might be walking towards you. Can I get a clarifier, please? 3 cards came out. I'll take them. Yeah, see? 3 of Swords, the Heartache, Heartbreak card. 2 Swords in the reverse. 3 of Cups. Yeah. Okay, first of all, let's talk about... So you got 2 3s here. So that might be significant. 3-3. I don't like this 3 of Cups. And Spirit knows that I don't like this 3 of Cups. Why? Because they just look like nosy Nellies, like fussy Bettys, and however you... I don't know why I'm bringing up these names, but they just look like gossipy. 3 of Cups is normally a card of friendship, of camaraderie, of celebration, but the depiction of this card just makes me think like these 3 musketeers are out for trouble. And I feel as though it's almost like you are trying to shelter your person from any kind of outward criticism or misconception. Like you're looking at this group and you're kind of speaking to them about your person. It's just like, okay, look, they're going through something right now, like, don't mind them. I mean, what are they going through? I mean, intense heartbreak. 3 of Swords is one of the hardest cards to get in the tarot. This is something, you know, what is your role in their life? The fact that you understand this on their behalf. You see it. I don't think these people in the peanut gallery, they have no idea. They're like in their own little world, drinking and celebrating while your person is over here kind of fighting for their lives, Spirit just said. I hope that it's not that dire, but could be. 2 of Swords in the reverse. It's like you're not confused about, Spirit just said, you're not confused about where your loyalties lie, no matter how much of a boundary this person is putting up. You're not letting them push you away. You're giving them their space, but you're not letting them push you away. Not completely. The lesson of this connection, I mean, 2 major arcana coming out here that are absolutely incredible. Number 4 of the major arcana, the Emperor card, Aries energy. Number 1 of the major arcana, the Magician, Virgo and Gemini. This is very divine masculine energies between these 2 cards, but tremendously powerful. Tremendously powerful. We're talking about a mastery of manifestation, a mastery of all 4 suits of the tarot, all 4 kings represented in the Emperor, the ultimate divine masculine. CEO, boss energy, like really stepping up. I mean, if we're talking about the lesson of this connection, it's a powerful one. I think it's divinely guided. Spirit would not send out 2 major arcana if it was not divinely guided. But I think it's a reminder to, you know, okay, Spirit just showed me a scenario now. You understand what this person is currently going through because you've gone through it yourself and come out the other side. And because you've gone through it yourself, you know what it takes to have that victory. So part of the lesson here is not just about your person, but it's about recognizing how far you've come, how much you've raised yourself up, how much you've manifested and made things come true for yourself. I'm going to get a card of advice from Spirit for the person on your mind. This is for Virgo. 2 cards came out. Would you look at that? You see how Spirit doesn't make mistakes when the cards come out. Number 26, reducing to an 8. Here's the 8 card, the Strength. We've come full circle in this reading. I was talking about a mastery of the ego, and here it is. Two of Pentacles can talk about multitasking. It can be really a lot on our plate. But I think you're handling it with a lot of tact, a lot of grace, a lot of inner power. You might have made some mistakes in the beginning with this person. You might have wanted to fix things, be the fixer. And now you're just recognizing, you know what, I'm gonna let them know that I'm gonna be there for them and that they can rely on me to be strong for them. They can rely on me to be a listening ear. But I also understand that part of the journey for them is understanding how to let this happen for themselves. Kind of perhaps having an ego death too. I feel like you've already been through your ego death and you're watching your friend go through it, and that's why it can be painful. I feel as though a lot of you are light workers. The Spirit's giving me that. And a lot of you are light workers. Empaths. This can be the plight of the empath. Of seeing the struggle and the pain in other people and negotiating with ourselves. How much are we really going to get involved? We should never get involved to the point where we lose who we are. So that's your reading, Virgo. I hope that it resonated. If it did, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Please hit the bell notification to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you, Virgo.